up, Greg? We're back already.
I thought you were going to be playing
quick.
longer than that.
Yeah, I thought so too. I decided not to.
Yeah.
I figured, we've been away for, 2 years, so I won't play.
Let's get to talking.
Yeah,
We have a lot of talking to do.
Exactly.
We have 2 years to make up for
Exactly.
So, yeah, it's episode 2 already. You see? We told you.
Same clothes and everything.
Same clothes.
Same, rig
Same
gear.
setup. Yeah, it's not the same day as the first episode. Definitely not.
All right, we're back. We're celebrating, and we're
drinking coffee, and you're gonna hopefully like and subscribe and click the notification bell so you can come see us and hang out. We do like to hang, and we like people to hang with us. So come back, please. No better way to come back than to be notified that we've uploaded something new. So please like, subscribe, notify,
please.
So yeah, so here we are, season 5 or 3, depending
10.
on how you want to look at it.
Yeah.
10. We're back in the switching gear underground lair. That should be very familiar to a lot of our subscribers, and hopefully new subscribers will get to know this place very well. But we aren't always going to be here.
No.
We are going to go on the road, and we're going to bring all this stuff out, and we're going to get eyes on different gear. We're going to have special guests here and there, and we're excited. So it's episode 2 already. Told you we were going to be doing this, and we're going to continue to do this.
Yep. And
barring some other kind of disaster.
Please no. Please no. Right.
So yeah.
What are we doing today?
So today, this is a guitar that I play in many, many episodes, and it's my go-to guitar these days. My Ibanez Gem was my go-to guitar for quite some time.
Back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s, yeah. The Gem. Yeah. So this is a guitar I play most often now, and it is the Man JP6. What Joe has here is it's a 7-string, so it is different, but as you can see, it looks very similar. It's got the stealth blackout, but it is the Sterling.
It's the Sterling by
version,
Man,
which is their, I guess, I don't want to call it entry level. I hate to do that because that's a quality.
And I think we've
guitar.
overused that.
We've used the word, and
it's more budget. It's more budget friendly.
Budget friendly.
It's the price point. Let's say the price point is lower.
Yeah, and I think they're made overseas.
It's made in
Indonesia, maybe.
Indonesia,
right?
It's
right.
made in Indonesia. But let's talk about it first, and we'll kind of go over yours, and we'll look at the differences.
Yeah.
We do have locking tuners over here. They're standard. I don't think there's a brand on them, so they're probably just Sterling brand. Yep. It looks to me, you have an ebony board. This looks rosewood-ish. Mm-hmm. It's very light. Maybe it's a different species of rosewood or whatever.
Sure.
The finish is exactly the same.
Yeah, it really, really does look very, very, very similar, and it's wearing out.
It's
in some of the same spots.
Yeah, and the tremolo is different, but they seem like they're thinking about being the same. This is like the little brother of that one.
Yep.
To some extent, you have a little bit more control option, right? Do you have piezo in there?
There is, yes, there is. That's up here. That's how I changed that from there.
Right.
Yeah, and
the only thing I did different on this guitar, by the way, just disclaimer here, I swapped out the stock pickup with the DiMarzio Illuminator, which is another JP signature pickup, to be a little bit more close to what would be in the more expensive models.
Yeah, and really, when you do that, right? That's when you're adding that piece of electronics to that, you're really putting it into the same ballpark, right? Tone.
You are. I mean, pickups are
such an important
80%, and there's debate.
There's other factors, of course.
There's other factors. There's debate over how much the wood affects and all this.
Yep.
That's not what we're here for.
No.
We've both had success swapping out pickups and guitars, and you completely transform the instrument.
Sure, yeah.
I'm not going to say that it completely transformed this instrument. It did bring in a lot more clarity and a lot more punch. I guess that's transforming to a certain degree, but I mean, the stock pickups were pretty good.
Yeah.
They weren't terrible.
Right.
Sometimes when you get some of the inexpensive guitars, the pickups are really the weak spot.
Sure, absolutely.
Right.
And it's borderline uncomfortable to play on those when they put in pickups that are like they sound so flat.
Exactly.
There's no life to them.
Right. It's almost like a blanket's over them.
Yeah, exactly.
Another really nice part about this guitar, and when I hand it to you, you'll notice this, is the fretwork is really, really done well here. A lot of times on the lower priced instruments, There's a lot of fret sprout. You're cutting yourself.
And that's the first thing I do when I pick up a cheaper instrument is do the test.
That. Right.
And if you feel those frets hanging over, it's like, I don't do that. You don't get that with
right.
this?
No. This is really smooth.
Yep.
Really smooth. Obviously, that's some people can consider that minor, right? You could have that repaired. You know, you could bring it to a luthier, and they could. But you know, right out of the box, it's playable. Another difference, I think, is the hardware, right? We said it has locking tuners. Are those branded?
They are not.
They're probably the Music Man. They're very similar. I think, I'm not sure what the ratio on the tuners are, but if I had one complaint about this instrument out of the box, is, you know, the tuners. I don't know if the ratio is too small, too low. But sometimes it's a little tricky to lock it into, you know, to have it stay solid. Even if you're lubricating the nut and you're trying to stretch out the strings.
And that's critical. I do that every time I change the strings, even on this, is lubricate that. It really makes a lot.
It does.
Definitely a tip out there for you, those of you that don't do that. Definitely get the nut lubricant. For lack of a better term.
There's a few things, right? And we can go down a rabbit hole with this too, right? With keeping an instrument in tune, right? You want to make sure that the nut is the slots are wide enough for the string gauge that you're using. So if you use a heavier set of strings, obviously you gotta potentially cut into the nut a little bit. Otherwise, the string's going to get caught in there. If it gets caught in there, it's going to go out of tune. You want your tuners to be tight. You want your tuning pegs to be tight, right? If the screws are a little bit loose, it's going to pull you out of tune. There's a whole host of things, right?
You don't like strings getting caught in your nuts.
No.
So,
not pleasant.
No, not a pleasant experience.
Not a pleasant experience. So, let's hear this a little bit. I'm going to play this. Obviously, I'm familiar with this instrument. I have played this. You have not played this.
I have never played that.
I played this.
Full disclaimer,
you're not.
I don't play 7 strings.
I didn't until I bought it.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, all right, I can only kind of play what
I'm telling you, it's the weirdest thing. But when I look at a fretboard, I visualize things.
Yeah.
And you add that second string, I could completely try to ignore it mentally.
And you have roller skates on. Right. All of a sudden you're wearing roller skates. Exactly.
Let's hear it.
Oh, and for gear, by the way, this is the same rig we had in our previous video. We're not actually using the distorted channel, the amp. We're going through the green clean channel, and we're going through the 5150 EVH overdrive.
Quieter.
MXR. I have the gate in there. It's a little bit quieter, a little bit tighter. Gain's pushed a little bit, but that's what we're using here. We don't have the boost engaged, so I'll disengage that. And we're running through a Meza Cab Clone IR Plus. There's no attenuation that's happening. There's no EQ. There is a presence knob on this. There's no EQ. This is just ins and outs. It's a cab sim going directly to the DAW, and this is what we got.
See, right off the bat, it's not fair because I can't get that heavy. Because I don't have the 7 string.
But it's funny, I'm playing it, I'm thinking of you like on roller skates, and I'm like making mistakes. There's a similar tonal quality to it. Must be the DiMarzios. You have a crunch lab in that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and I actually like that pickup a
lot. Trying to do the fake 7 string stuff where I'm playing like the upper part of the chord, but it just doesn't.
So I know we're bouncing around here. These pickups are similar to me. I actually like that one. If I had to choose between the two, I like the Crunch Lab better than the Illuminator. There's an Illuminator.
Yep.
It's a little bit rounder to me and has a little bit cleaner separation. This one I think might be a tad hotter feeling maybe, but that one.
Play some like lead stuff up higher.
Very similar.
Yeah,
right? Very similar. Alright. Let's switch.
Switching gear.
Here we go.
Here we go. Oh man, already. Louisville Slugger over here. Oh my god. Who's playing?
You are.
Let me ask you this: did you change the neck pickup? I'm so like.
What's in this? Do you know what?
I forget. Oh man, I should know this. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, I actually dig this guitar a lot. I love it. The neck is huge.
Well,
I mean, it's just because it's a 7-string.
Right.
But it feels really, really familiar. It's not, I mean, granted, it's a wider neck. It's got to accommodate for the extra string, but it feels really good. I'm majorly impressed with this. And that's even with the neck pickup, which you haven't changed.
Right.
So we can't just, that's the way it comes.
Right.
I think it plays and sounds great. And
I agree with you. I agree. And
Listen,
I dig the matte finish.
Yeah.
I know yours.
Yeah, well, I'm
more
playing
way.
hell out of that thing.
But this character's that. That's kind of cool.
Well, that's kind of the hip thing these days, right? Nice. I don't know where I am. Once I go down here. Cool attitude, too.
So I think what we determined is that the Sterling.
Listen, if you, again, it reminds me a lot of other guitars that we've compared the flagship to the
Lower price.
And more often than not, those lower price,
They're close.
They're close. And I think it has to do with a lot of times when their artist is putting their name on it, right? Because in both of these situations, that was the case. They're not going to put their name on an instrument if they're not psyched on
right.
to it.
If it's
to
inferior.
A level.
Right. If it's inferior.
But you want to know that if you're paying the extra money, you're getting value out of that. And you are.
Right, you are.
There's the stainless steel frets, there's the better electronics, there's the piezo, there's, that's the better instrument.
So if you ask me, I think there's a 20% difference.
And there's more than a 20% price difference.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's my personal opinion,
Yeah.
right? Everybody, is different, and you might pick this up and you might be like, no, this is not for me.
Yep.
Or somebody might pick this up and be like, I'm not going to spend the money on the other one because this is perfect. For me, it's a great tool.
Yeah.
To record with, and again, if I have to pick apart anything,
you can swap those out.
Right. Maybe the tuners aren't as solid as these.
Yeah.
But that aside, you put a good pickup in it. If you're not happy with the one that comes out of the box, and you got a quality instrument, and it's
considerably less
half.
expensive.
It's considerably less expensive.
And if you're a fan of the artist, big Petrucci fan out there, you want to play an instrument similar to his. He even has the Majesty ones, right? That are similar to the Sterling, and there are other options. But those are, and I've heard this before. I've heard that Sterling are very good quality instruments. This is really the first time I'm playing one, and I'm 100% in on it. They feel great.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. So.
So check them out.
Go buy one. And if you can afford one, get the Music Man. If you can't afford it or you don't want to spend the money, then absolutely go check out a Sterling.
Yeah, and again, this is personal opinion here. We've played the Majesties also.
Yeah.
I like these ones better.
You do.
Stylistically.
Okay. Yeah.
For me.
Well, the Majesty is a departure from a standard-looking guitar.
It's
its own little.
But not even just visually, just comfort-wise.
Yeah.
This one and we played a JP15, I think.
Yep. We did a JP15.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, those are nice.
That was my favorite.
That was nice too. Yeah.
But again, and that's what's cool about it, because everybody prefers something a little bit different, and there's selection available.
It's the beauty of it. Absolutely.
But this is an awesome guitar.
Yeah.
One thing to really point out here, in my opinion, is the neck shape.
Love it. Yeah.
Is really great. It's I think a narrower neck than I'm used to.
Which is funny because coming from a Gem, which is my other main instrument, that's a wider neck.
Yeah.
So there was an adjustment period.
Yeah.
To get used to the string spacing, seems a little closer to me.
Right.
I don't have monster fingers. My hands aren't that large, so it's probably better that I play something like this. And
but
again,
it's really comfortable.
I say this a lot. What's interesting about my situation is, and we've mentioned this in previous episodes, I learned to play guitar from John Petrucci. So a lot of the technique, and listen, I am nowhere near going to talk like I have his technique. That's not what I'm getting at. But the way I hold the pick, the way I was taught to position my hand is similar to him. And this is designed by him.
Right.
So it's almost like
so it feels natural to you.
Natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's, again, don't get me wrong. I am not going there. I mean, but just
you had to go to your lessons. That must have been enough. It was intimidating enough. I'm sure.
Yeah. So I just feel like, seriously, like the way I position my hand is very similar because he was the guy saying, "No, do it this way."
Sure.
So if that works for him, it's probably going to work for the way I was taught to play guitar, so it always felt natural.
Well, I'll tell you this. I didn't take lessons from John, unfortunately, right? But it's very comfortable to me, too. Ergonomically, it feels nice.
Awesome.
So,
stellar. Yeah. So,
all right.
Go buy them.
Yeah, both of them are cool. I mean, like we said, the JP15s, even the Majesties.
It's all a great
really
line
cool.
of guitars.
And there are like the equivalents in the Sterling line also. There's a Majesty Sterling, and I think there's a JP15.
Yeah, they got
stylistic. Check them out. They're exceptional value. For dollars.
Just Music Man is such a top echelon company.
They really are.
That if they're going to brand anything, it's going to be go through quality control. That's
we reviewed my
L3.
We reviewed the
Dark Lord Morse.
Yeah. And they're all awesome instruments.
They're just really well built. So the Sterling's going to go through the rigors
There's
of
quality
everything.
Control standards that they're meeting there, and we can vouch for that.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
All right. Well, till next time.
Yep.
Another one. All right, guys.
Soon.
Subscribe.
See
you.
Bye.